The man is an elite soldier who rose from the Golden Triangle. Now he's a hitman with 0 completed jobs. The boss sends him to collect debts. Instead, he helps a debtor's widowed mother fix a leaking faucet. Told to cut someone down, he lends the knife to the target to slice a watermelon. He knows this line of work runs against his conscience. But to earn enough for his mother's retirement back home, he has no choice but to go on. What he doesn't know is that a bounty worth $100 million is about to drag him into the eye of a deadly storm. That day, Underworld boss Brother Dog is ready to fire the soft-hearted hitman, Ajay. At that very moment, a piece of news shakes Hong Kong's entire underworld. Japanese tycoon Nakamoto has been murdered. The revenge fund he set up while alive is officially activated. A $100 million bounty is placed on the killer, the Seraph. Brother Dog's goons erupt with excitement. But they're not qualified, because the fund's agent, Martin, invited only the world's top hitman brokers. Ajay sees his chance. He begs Brother Dog, only to be publicly humiliated, so he decides to make his own way in. At the entrance to the Nakamoto Center, Ajay is stopped by security for his plain clothes. With no invitation, he lets his fists do the talking. In a few swift blows, several burly men drop to the floor. His sharp moves catch the eye of a man named Away. Away claims to be a hitman broker and sees Ajay's raw potential, so he uses his own invitation to sneak him inside. The conference hall is thick with tension. Agent Martin announces the rules: kill the Seraph, or expose the mastermind behind it, and you earn $50 million for either. If they're the same person, the full $100 million goes to you. All participants must first put down a $5 million deposit. It's a game for the ultra-rich and a high-stakes gamble. After the meeting, Away dragged Ajay to a restaurant and formally proposed a partnership. He needs Ajay's combat skills. Ajay needs his connections. To test Ajay's abilities, Away deliberately provoked the thugs at the next table, agreeing the fight would be over in 30 seconds. He had just lit a cigarette when the fight was already over. But when a woman attacked from behind, Ajay held back. He never hits women. Seeing this, Away knocked the woman out with a single punch. He realized that although Ajay was formidable, his soft heart was a fatal weakness. To toughen him up, Away lined up a small job for Ajay. The target was often seen around an amusement park. While waiting, Ajay played a coin toss game with a lonely little boy. With flawless control, he won all the dolls at the stall for the kids. However, the news Away brought back hit him like a thunderbolt. This time, the target was the little boy's father. Away even suggested killing the child as well, to eliminate future trouble. Ajay was torn by intense inner conflict. Looking at the father and son, he saw his own reflection. He couldn't let another child lose his father. Just as he abandoned the mission, another group of hitmen appeared, drew their guns, and opened fire. Ajay didn't hesitate, he rushed in to protect the father and son. Amid the chaos, the police arrived and the crisis was diffused. At the station, Ajay met Officer Hua, who was in charge of the case, for the first time. He felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity with the officer. Because Ajay had saved lives, he and Away were released without charge. Not long after, Martin put out new information. He said a torn piece of military script was found in Nakamoto's stomach. The clue was priced at $200,000. Away spent everything he had on the intel, only to get that single line. Martin admitted he had already sold the same clue to 5 people. Pressed by Ajay, Martin gave up the first buyer for free. Nakamoto's grandson, Eiji Nakamoto. Ajay immediately came up with a plan. He was certain that the ruthless Eiji Nakamoto would spare no expense to trace the origin of the military script. All they had to do was lie in wait, like the oriole behind the mantis. As expected, Eiji Nakamoto soon traced it to an old man named Liang Bo. He sent his men to the old man's home. But killers from all sides caught wind of it too. A British hitman, the long-haired killer, and Ajay and Away watching from the shadows, all converged in a cramped apartment building. The British hitman tossed a grenade to sow chaos. He tried to seize Liang Bo as he had just returned home. Ajay and Away took advantage of the chaos and rescued the old man first. During their escape, Eiji Nakamoto's strongest enforcer, the long-haired killer, blocked their path. Ajay told Away to take the others and leave, while he stayed behind to fight. The long-haired killer was formidable, but Ajay had the edge. Facing defeat, the killer resorted to dirty tricks, firing a high-intensity laser from a ring to blind Ajay, then following up with a heavy punch. Ajay was instantly at a disadvantage. Meanwhile, Eiji Nakamoto arrived in person with his men. Away and Liang Bo were completely surrounded. Amid the chaos, Liang Bo, already terminally ill, passed away. The trail was cut off. Eiji Nakamoto left with open disdain. In his eyes, those two nobodies posed no real threat. But Away's earlier odd behavior had already raised Ajay's suspicions. Back home, Away finally came clean. He was never a hitman broker to begin with, just an unemployed drifter trying to scam some money. He posed as a hitman to meet his client, Liang Bo, only to find a poor old man obsessed with revenge. The payment was nothing but a box of worthless military script. He was ready to walk away, but the very next day, the real Seraph killed Nakamoto, and by sheer accident, Liang Bo transferred a sum of money into Away's account. That instantly made him the prime suspect. Attending the meetings and paying the deposit were all for self-preservation. He needed to know just how much of himself had been exposed. Now the only witness was dead. With no way to clear his name, Away prepared to flee. At that moment, Officer Hua paid a visit to his daughter, Chi-Chi. Thinking she'd been kidnapped, Away rushed over with Ajay. Instead, they discovered Officer Hua was protecting Chi-Chi. He suspected Awe was the Seraph, fearing someone might use his daughter as leverage. At that point, Ajia followed his instincts and spoke the truth outright. He was certain that Officer Hua was the real Seraph. Officer Hua froze. He admitted who he really was, a police officer and a vigilante who only kills the truly evil. He offered two choices, kill him and take the 100 million, or disappear together. But Ajia knew better. Eiji Nakamoto would never let anyone walk away. He chose to strike first, meeting Martin and setting up a high-stakes gamble. On the top floor of the Nakamoto Center, right in front of Martin, Ajia claimed that Awe was the Seraph. To claim the 100 million bounty, he said, he had killed Awe without hesitation. As Martin was about to authorize the transfer, the doors behind him slowly opened. Eiji Nakamoto walked in with his men. He was the one who truly decided where the money would go. At that moment, the fallen Awe stood back up with a grin. It had all been Ajai's plan, meant to lure out the mastermind behind the scenes. The truth was finally revealed, and a fierce battle erupted. Ajai and Awe were completely surrounded. At the critical moment, Officer Hua, now in combat gear, smashed through the window as Seraph, drawing most of the enemy fire. Ajai once again faced off against the long-haired assassin. This time, fully prepared, he wrapped his belt around the hand firing the laser. He slammed him hard into the wall, completely disabling the weapon. The sonic attack was silenced. The long-haired assassin was no match for Ajai and was killed with a single kick. In the final showdown, Ajai, Awe, and Officer Hua faced Eiji Nakamoto together. Eiji Nakamoto was brutally ruthless. He even stabbed through his own subordinate to ambush Ajai. Ajai kicked him in the back of the head, driving his katana into the ground. He followed up with another kick, snapping the blade in half. A final crushing punch ended Eiji Nakamoto's life on his own broken blade. When the dust settled, Martin stepped forward. He didn't want the $100 million to go to waste. As the arbiter, he fabricated a flawless narrative. Eiji Nakamoto murdered his grandfather in a bid to seize the family fortune, and was shot dead by the brilliant Officer Hua and two upstanding citizens. In the end, the $100 million was split evenly among the four. Ajai finally earned enough money, and Officer Hua chose to step away. He passed the Seraph codename on to Ajai, because he knew that this young man, who never kills the undeserving, and only kills those who must be killed, was the perfect king of assassins.